You're listening to the Angry Marks Pro Wrestling Show on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Never thought about consequences. Never thought you had to pay a price. It all depends on the circumstances. Made up your mind, better think twice.
Listen up, onion heads. It's 4 times NWA World Heavyweight Champion Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, and you are tuned into the Angry Marks Podcast. Which obviously, if you don't know, don't get any better than this.
And welcome back to Thursday Night AMP right here on AngryMarks.com. And in a special bonus interview tonight for Thursday Night AMP, we are joined by the IZW Heavyweight Champion, Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing real good, man. About to do some cardio here in a second. I have to slot this interview in. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And you're training hard and working hard because there's a big IZW show coming up this weekend. So to start things off, why don't you tell everybody about your show and upcoming match?
Chaotic Christmas, December 17th. This Saturday, I defend the heavyweight championship of the world, people. The world against the real deal Aaron Neal, the number one contender who won that extinct duty at the last pay-per-view, Chaotic Christmas, which you can still see on demand on GFL.TV. He's earned his shot. He will lose that matchup to me this Saturday, though.
You sound supremely confident of the fact that he has no chance, basically a snowball's chance in hell in the ring against you.
I've been the heavyweight champion of this company for 13 months. And I faced every challenger they could possibly throw at me. As a matter of fact, I beat the entire roster to get this title. So I am very confident, despite the fact that nobody else in our viewing audience or in the locker room is confident in that fact. I'm confident in that fact.
All right. Well, that confidence must have started early on for you in your career, going all the way back to your days in Waterloo, Iowa.
Well, you're right. I grew up a huge wrestling fan. I knew one day I was going to be a heavyweight champion. I knew one day I was going to make it, and I've done that. So, yeah, I'm very confident in my abilities, confident in whatever I put my mind to I can do, and I'm confident that this Saturday I will defeat Aaron Neal.
Now, who would you say were your role models coming up? Who were the wrestlers that you aspired to be like?
Oh, man, Brian Pillman, That was one. Ric Flair, of course. He was always heavyweight champion, always dressed nice, looked good, seemed like a champion, so him. I was a Hulkamaniac for a little while until he lost the Ultimate Warrior, and I was like, and then I became a little stinger. So, yeah, I like a lot of different types of Ricky Steamboat, the Hollywood Blondes. I like cocky, I like good. I like all of that.
So it sounds like you're a classically schooled wrestler then. You believe in the best wrestlers that were out there in the 80s and the 90s. You're not a new jack that came along in the last few years then by any means.
Oh, no. I was bred on. My grandma watched wrestling. She got the whole family started on. I've been watching wrestling from as long as I can remember. I am not no Attitude Era's fan, none of that at all. I've been watching, I remember Mid-South and WCCW. I am not a new wrestling fan.
Very good. I'm sure you're a fan of the Von Erichs then as well, if you know the WCCW.
Oh, yeah, I like the Von Erichs, but I also like Gino Hernandez and Gentleman Chris Adams and the Freebirds and all that. Not just the Von Erichs, but yeah, I appreciate all of that stuff.
All right. Well, I don't want to dominate the conversation entirely. I've got more questions, but I want to give Peter a chance to ask a few. So, Peter, the floor is yours.
All right. For those who don't know IZW very well, can you explain what a Monsters Bash Battle Royal is?
The Monsters Bash Battle Royal is our equivalent to the Royal Rumble. You get to earn, and it's 20 to 30 superstars, so you get to earn an opportunity at the heavyweight championship if you can survive. Last year, I did so. I was number one in that event, and I went all the way through, and at the end of that battle royal, I then decided I wanted my title shot that same show, and I got it. I inserted myself in the already scheduled title match and won the title. This year, I made Aaron Neal the number one entrant in the Monsters Bash Battle Royal, and due to some shady activity by the owner, Johnny Z, he managed to go ahead and win that battle royal, thus earning him a title shot at Chaotic Christmas against myself.
Now, during your 13-month title reign, what would you say is your favorite match in that reign?
Actually, it's kind of bittersweet. My favorite matchup in that deal was actually a matchup I ended up losing due to Johnny Z, once again, was the referee of this matchup. It was against me and Double D, another rising superstar in IZW, and we went the time limit draw. Johnny Z then came out, restarted the matchup, and I ended up getting kicked in the face somehow by the referee and losing that contest. That's my favorite matchup due to just the pure emotion we were able to get out of the fans that night, and it was just electrified in the building. The end result didn't come out my favor, but my man Jeff the Commish is an attorney. He's the commissioner and half owner of IZW, Jeff Wolfenbarger, overruled that, deemed as if it was never happened, expunged it from the record, so I'm still uninterrupted heavyweight champion.
Now, for those who aren't familiar with the promotion, I say that again because I've only seen matches here and there, but besides yourself, who is someone that is the rising star of that promotion?
We have a lot of good talent, a lot of rising stars. There's Double D. Like I said, he's former Impact Division champion. He's young up and comer dude. Will probably be heavyweight champion at one point. When I decide to relinquish the title. But there's others. We got Nemesis, a nice exciting tag team. Jordan Jacobs, graduate from the Impact Academy, so he's always on the radar. Randy Price, Mr. Saturday Night, Michael Berry. There's a plethora of young talent that wrestling fans need to keep their eye on because they're going to be bursting through their television screens.
Now, besides being the IZW heavyweight champion, you've also got a lot of accolades from the Oklahoma wrestling fans. You've won year-end awards for Moment of the Year and Match of the Year and Most Improved Wrestler of the Year. Which one of those would you say is your favorite out of all the awards you've received?
Got to go with the Match of the Year. When a whole year's work for the company and the fans decide that matchup sticks out in their mind and it's the best one, and I came out victorious, of course. I mean, I've got to go ahead and put that as my crowning moment because there was a lot of great matches in 2010 for our company. That was when we really started to turn the corner with getting HD and getting our own TV show and about to make that stride towards the pay-per-view was 2010. So to have the Match of the Year then really holds dear in my heart.
And if I'm not mistaken, that Match of the Year that you had with Montego Sika, he's your former tag team partner, right?
Yeah. We were blackout together, and I carried him for a long time, the 4 tag team title reigns. And he got hurt. He came back, and the fans just kind of forgot about me. I didn't matter anymore. They jumped on, Montego, and I wasn't having none of that. I was tired of that. That's when the all about me mindset came about, and I had to turn on that dude, and we had a long, grueling feud after that.
But obviously you guys were in cahoots for a long time. I mean, you even won the tag team titles under Mask. You were Mastus the Midnight Rider for one of your tag reigns.
Oh, yeah, man. Midnight Rider's a 40-year vet, and just to have the honor of him letting me don his clothing for one night just to pull this ruse was, it was an achievement within itself. I might have to put that right under sub A, 1A of one of my top moments. But yeah, we dressed up and won the tag titles. It got taken away from us. Obviously, you can't win gold like that under collusion, but it was fun.
Indeed, and I think it's almost a shame it got overturned because I would have liked to have seen another match with you as the Midnight Rider. I think the fans might want to see that too.
Oh man, I enjoyed it. I got the whoo on and all the dusty stride that you could do with it. I flip flopped and flied. I had a good time with it because it was fun business.
Indeed. And speaking of fun business, your All About Me interview segment is some fun business too. Do you see that as patterned after Piper's Pit or the highlight reel? What would you say are your inspirations there in the interviews?
Oh yeah, definitely the Piper's Pit, the highlight reel. That was because Chris Jericho is truly one of my one of the people I try to pattern my career after. He's so incredible. If you can be half as good as Chris Jericho, you're an incredible worker. So yeah, the highlight reel is really where I kind of patterned that from and got that. Show what's MVP's show? I forget what it was, but I always liked that too and stuff. So yeah, I definitely took that mode and try to carve my own image in there.
The VIP lounge?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That lounge. I want a couch and stuff too, man. Yeah, I should have that.
Now, have you ever had, like, what is your most serious injury in the ring so far?
I was taking on one of we have Little Joe. He runs around here, very high flying, just incredible agility he has, and he broke my ankle with a moonsault from the top rope to the floor. He caught me, and then it rolled, and it was devastating. It didn't break all the way. I guess I'm over exaggerating, but yeah, that is definitely hands down the most excruciating pain I've ever been in. I've been lucky not to have like a serious injury to take me out of action for a long period of time, but yeah, that definitely got the ball rolling on the wear and tear of this business, was that moment there.
Now, have you wrestled outside of the United States yet, or have you wrestled in Canada or Japan or Europe by chance?
Dreams of mine for sure, but no, I haven't been granted the opportunity to do so yet. I'm working hard at it, nonstop. It's a dream to work in Japan and get one of those steakhouse jackets that Aaron Neal actually has, because he's been to Japan. He's done it. I have to give him all credit in the world there. He's legit. He worked for Vader Time Promotions, and he got that jacket, and I want one. I want to work in Canada too. Some of the greatest wrestlers in the world came from Canada. Lance Storm, the Hart, the list goes on and on of great competitors that came from there, and I want to definitely put my name in that hat at one point as well.
Now, do you have a favorite type of specialty match?
TLC has really grown to be what is like my matchup in IZW. I've competed in 3 of them. I've never lost. I don't plan on losing one anytime soon. So I always have that trick in my back pocket, but I'm pretty good at cage matches. I'm pretty good at everything when you really sit back and think of it. So any type of matchup you put me in, I'm not an underdog.
Now, admit it, if you were a gamer, do you create your own character in WWE 12?
No doubt do I create my own character. I create 3 different types of my own character. Yeah, definitely. I got Jermaine Johnson, and I got Mr. All About Me, and then I got just me era, just straight up just me. Yeah, I form a group and everything.
All right.
Well, it's all about me. That makes perfect sense. Sorry, go ahead, Peter.
I was going to say, if we were able to steal your iPod or MP3 player, what's in there right now?
Sexy and I Know It is in there right now. A lot of LMFAO is in there. They're great cardio music. Skrill It is actually in my iPod right now. Their sound is weird, and I dig weird.
Well, speaking of what you dig, there's a rumor, and it may only be a rumor, so you're going to have to confirm or deny it for us, but rumor has it you had a rap career at one point.
Rumor has it I what?
Had a rap career.
Oh, don't get me started on MC Me. Yeah, don't even get me started on that. He had a long luxury. He had a good run. Let me tell you, it was hard putting the mic down and pursuing professional wrestling.
Is there any chance you'd ever come back to it then? Like, do a theme song for somebody or maybe for yourself?
I've razzle-dazzled in doing a theme song for myself, but I don't want to. I love the music that I come out to. It gives me that perfect vibe for, going ahead and handling business and defending the championship. That's why I haven't stepped on the toes of the music department and came up with my own track, but I could. I'm sure you've seen me in my rap contest. I did a rap contest a few weeks ago with Aaron Neal, which I slaughtered him on the mic, but the fans obviously voted against me because they're haters.
Yeah, well, there's no haters on this show. It's nothing but love. But I have to ask, speaking of hip-hop and pro wrestling, there's a group out there that's trying to combine those two and put them on pay-per-view called the Urban Wrestling Federation. Have they come calling?
Nah, they haven't come calling yet. They really intrigued me. They intrigued me, to say the least. Trying to mix just straight up the hip-hop genre and that lifestyle with professional wrestling, like all the way up and down the roster is, I don't know how to swallow that exactly. Me and one of my workout buddies was just talking about that, Fed, because Julius Smokes is the announcer, and he got into a fight with one of his co-announcers or whatever, and they had this brawl that security had to break up, and that's just the announce team, so I'm sure it's a pretty wild place.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of their shows, and they're really wild. I mean, there's sales going on in the back, and I won't discuss what kind of sales there are. There are women being offered to other wrestlers for various nefarious purposes. There are gunshots being fired. It's a pretty chaotic environment at Urban Wrestling.
I'm not sure if I want to razzle dazzle in that. I think I'm doing just fine at IZW right now.
Yeah, you might want to avoid the drama because you never know. You could end up getting in a brawl with an announcer, but in IZW, they respect and fear you, so it's a good place to be right now.
It is that. No gunshots, no whatever's going on backstage. I don't even want to know.
Exactly. So, about other wrestling promotions calling, anything from WWE or TNA, any looks from them right now?
I've done some like security work for WWE, just got to like hang out and stuff. I haven't been looked at seriously yet, but I believe that's going to change real soon, especially with the exposure on GFL.TV. They're going to take notice if they already haven't. Ironically, I did a rap contest, and then they decided they were going to do a rap contest, so they've already taken notice in my eyes anyway. So,
yeah, JR is kind of biting on your style there.
Yeah, JR, Michael Cole, who I cannot stand for numerous reasons. But God, man, like he's no good for the business at all, in my opinion. It makes me an angry Mark watching Michael Cole, hearing him.
That's a drop right there. That's a drop.
That is the literal God's to honest. Go ahead.
Go ahead with what?
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying that's the God's honest truth that nobody can stand Michael Cole. He makes us all angry Marks.
Oh man, he makes me want to turn my TV off, jump out a plane, and slit my throat on the way down. Like just make sure it's over when I get done with anything he's involved in.
You know, the thing that never made any sense to me, and maybe you can answer this, and I've tried to figure it out. So many people have tried to figure this out. How they can promote anti-bullying when all Michael Cole does every week is call people fat and nerds and losers, and he's their voice. How can they be anti-bullying when all he does is bully people?
And on top of that, censor Jerry Lawler for doing the same thing, but just let him go. No, I cannot wrap my head around it. That's why I love the product that I'm currently on at IZW, because we don't have none of that nonsense. It's about action. It's about the fans. It's about wrestling. It's old school as old school can get, with new school flair wrapped all around it. So that's why I'm very excited about the iPay-per-view and continuing our partnership with GFL.TV, because true wrestling fans need to see a true wrestling product, and that's what we are.
Indeed. And it's not just on GoFightLive.tv. People can also come out and see it live.
Oh, most definitely, man. Ticket sales, tickets are affordable. I wouldn't want to say cheap, because that's undermining us. They are very affordable, only $8 for adults, $6 for kids, and it's well worth your money. If I was still a young fan trying to check out what true professional wrestling is supposed to be, I'd be dropping that at the drop of it every Saturday. I'd be there first and holding the door open for other people. I'd be making sure I was there, because that's what wrestling's all about. That's what IZW is all about.
Now, I have to ask you a completely random question here, because I'm looking at one of your bios online, and you've got many bios in many places because Jermaine Johnson is well known, but this one says that you actually worked for a Fed, and I have to think this is a rib, called Awful, AWFOL. Is that legit?
Oh yeah, it very much is legit. I think they were trying to use a play on words, obviously with the whole awful deal, and it means something like association of wrestling. It's I don't even recall what it meant, but it was a very fun show. The one show that they ended up having, but yeah, I've worked for a promotion called Awful. Yes, I have.
Well, that doesn't make sense to me because there's nothing awful about Jermaine Johnson. So.
No, definitely. That was once again with Montego Sika. That's who I was with. And he obviously drugged me down to a point that I was on a promotion that was straight up called Awful. Good thing I cut ties with him.
It seems to me that he's like the thorn in your side in a lot of cases. Like you either worked with him or worked against him. You can't ever get away from him.
I've managed to get away from him now. I've left him in the dust. He was the first challenger that I had for the second. I apologize. The second challenger that I had for the IZW title, and he tried and tried and tried from January all up until May, but he couldn't take the title from me. And he, I don't even know what he's doing now because I'm living the good life, high on top of the mountain as champion, and he's kicking rocks somewhere.
Well, Aaron Neal's probably going to be kicking rocks too then after this Saturday, right?
Oh, definitely. And all his fans and Big DA and everyone who decided that it was 40-1 odds that I was going to keep my title. I can't believe that at all. I can't even understand how I'm the underdog in the situation when my track record clearly shows that I can't be stopped. Yet every time a new challenger comes, everyone wants to immediately go, that's the next heavyweight champion. Well, Aaron Neal is in that role. That's the next heavyweight champion, but he'll end up like everyone else does, not the heavyweight champion. You've got to be there December 17th. You've got to watch it. Order it on GFL.TV. It's only $14.95. It will be the best $15 you've ever spent just to see me prove my words right. And there's a lot of other things too, but mainly to check out me.
Now, I always ask questions kind of outside the box, and this is a great one, and it's very topical today. What are your thoughts on Chris Paul being traded to the Clippers?
Man, I'm not a huge Laker fan per se, but I have nothing against the Lakers, and I feel like they got robbed in that deal all the way around. Chris Paul, I'm happy if he wanted to get out of New Orleans, that's good, and wherever he goes, I hope for successful. But just looking at it from the Lakers side, they got done with no Vaseline. Not only did they lose, did they not get Chris Paul, but they lost Lamar Odom too. I'm very disappointed in what went down there. And I'm not even a Lakers fan, so I can't imagine what a true Lakers fan is feeling.
No Vaseline, just a match and a little bit of gasoline.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel bad for him. I really do. But maybe he can do some big things in the Clippers, make them relevant, I hope, because I always have a soft spot for the Clippers. So, we'll see. But I still feel bad for the Lakers.
Now, on Thursday night, myself and Stevie, we do another show called on Thursday nights we do Thursday Night Angry Marks podcast, and we do the week that was in wrestling, and we preview pay-per-views and what have you. And also we do an NFL Pick'em segment. Do you think the Packers are going to go 16-0 this year?
No, I don't think so, because it doesn't seem like they are. It doesn't seem like that's their main focus. Like, they're not really worried about if they go 16-0 or not. That's obviously proved like that's still not the best way to think, trying to be 16-0 and win the Super Bowl. You need to focus ahead, not worry about, being 16-0 and still winning the championship. So I don't think they're 100% worried about that, and so I don't believe they'll end up doing it. But you still got to consider them like the favorite to win the Super Bowl, but I don't see them going 16-0. No, I don't. If I'm wrong, hey, well, another milestone, I guess.
It might almost be better if they did lose now, because when the Patriots went undefeated and they got to the Super Bowl, they got beat by the Giants. So maybe they should get that L out of the way right now.
That's how I see it. I was rooting for the Patriots. I wanted to see them do it. Honestly, I don't want to see Green Bay do it. I wanted to see the Patriots do it. I really did. But hey, if they should get the loss out of the way, but you can't game plan like that, neither plan to lose. So it's kind of an odd situation to be in.
Yeah, it almost seems at this point some teams are planning to lose. Like the Colts probably hope they go 0-16 just so they can get Andrew Luck.
Well, on their side, I honestly believe they're trying. Which is sad that they're going to go, they might go 0-16, because I've seen other teams who look like they're not trying, the Lions at some point, and they couldn't go 0-16. So that sucks for them. I really hope they can squeeze one out. They can win one game and still get locked. So I hope they do.
Yeah, they probably win. Even with 2 games, they probably still get luck. But on another football note, since we're already on the subject, what do you think of the rise of Tim Tebow and the Denver Broncos?
I love it because John Elway hates it. Like, that's how I feel about Tim Tebow. Every time, I've never seen someone that is invested in the team upset that they're winning like John Elway is. So I just love watching him fail and win at the same time. It's a weird deal to me, so I'm intrigued by it. And he's catching on big. I've seen Jeff Jarrett and Ted DiBiase both doing his pose during matches and stuff. He's hot right now, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, like I said last weekend after that win against the Bears, I think even God is doing the Tebow at this point.
Probably so, though. I think the only person not doing it is John Elway. So, I mean, hey, I hope they win on out and make it to the Super Bowl. I want to see the dude. I want to see John Elway at huge press conferences try to pretend to smile while he hates the situation he's in.
Yeah, and there are people who have made this prognostication, and I don't know if it'll come true, but just imagine it: the undefeated Packers against the Denver Broncos.
That's what I hope to see, actually. So, I mean, yeah, I'm rooting all for it.
Well, our producer Kev said he had a Tim Tebow joke. Did you want to jump in, Kev?
Yeah, I did happen to see a post on Grantland.com today saying, despite Tim Tebow's stellar record and his high profile, the Broncos are not willing to commit to him as the quarterback of the future. Said one unnamed representative, we have a feeling something bad is going to happen to him around age 33.
Oh.
Wow. I don't really know what to say about that. It's not often you can have me speechless, but yeah, that did it.
Well, on that note, then, let's go back to the world of pro wrestling, and we'll ask you a couple more questions and wrap it up, because I know it's getting to be a late night for you like it is for us. So who do you see as coming next after Aaron Neal? What do you see on the radar for you in the future?
That's the most interesting part of where I'm at right now. I've beaten the entire roster. At one point or another, everyone's had an opportunity to get the championship. I'm not a chicken champion. I've gone head up against everybody. I've came out victorious. So after I get past Aaron, I don't see anyone else. And I'm happy about that. I love it. I'm going to sit back on my perch and let them scrap it out and try to get the spot. But there's no one clearly like the next contender. And I'm perfectly cool with that.
You think they're going to have to bring in a shooter then? Somebody from another promotion outside IZW?
You said bring in a shooter. We've already got one. We've got Brent Albright.
That's true.
But Brent Albright and me, we wear the same colors. We both represent Impact Inc., the greatest faction in the history of wrestling and the most dominant force in IZW. So, I mean, I don't know. Aaron Neal better do it. Or
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was going to say, you don't think it's going to turn into like a John Jones, Rashad Evans thing where friends become enemies and one turns on the other then?
Woo. As champion, I've been trained to keep eyes in the back of my head. So, I mean, I'm always got my eyes on him. I don't trust anybody. So, possibly, but, if he comes, then,
You'll just have to put him down like all the rest.
Like all the rest, indeed. You need to check me out, man. YouTube, IZW is big on YouTube. We put every episode of our television show, Impact Television, on YouTube. We have a lot of content on there, and I've done a lot of stuff on there. I've beaten a lot of people, and it's all on YouTube. You can check it out. We got numerous pay-per-views up, and a lot of free shows on GFL.TV. Fans need to be checking out the free shows on GFL.TV because, for one, they're free, and two, once you start watching, you won't stop. We will hook you. We're that good, IZW.
Well, I have no doubt after listening to this interview that a lot more people are going to be watching on Go Fight Live and YouTube and everywhere else. So no worries on that score. Once they hear from the heavyweight champion himself, they'll be tuning in.
Thanks for coming on the show and great interview.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.